Chair Shot Reality, episode 299, coming to you from Point Park University in Pittsburgh. Next week, Survivor Series week, it is our big milestone 300 show. Love us or hate us, if you're watching, we thank you. And it's going to be a great show. TagMeADate.com, the first ever dating website for wrestling fans. They will bring you Noelle Foley, the beautiful daughter of the hardcore legend Mick Foley. She's been getting involved in the IWC. Noelle Foley, as well as superfan of all superfans, Frank the Clown. They will both be here in studio next week to talk all things Survivor Series and more. And then, of course, we will have some other special surprises that you'll find out.
Do I know the surprises yet?
No, you don't. I haven't told anybody.
Do you know the surprises?
I do. Well, I know some.
I don't think you know the surprises that I know that you don't know, but I know. Riddle me that, Lamar.
I don't follow.
I know.
This week, though, on episode 299, as we are on our opening segment, we're talking about the WWE title tournament. Seth Rollins obviously got injured last week. That broke just as we went on the air for 298.
Supporting him by color.
All black?
All black.
Is this the funeral for the
R.I.P.
funeral? He vacates the title, so we have a WWE title tournament. Josh, we thought maybe that there's a chance that they could do something big, surprise us with some A-listers, or they really wanted to just throw a swerve, whether it's dialing up a Brock Lesnar, whether it's throwing a Taker in the tournament, whether it's dialing up a Dwayne Johnson, whatever you can do. They did not do that. They went with a pretty predictable 16-man bracket.
And that's the problem that I've had on Monday night whenever looking at this team, this tournament of pairings. You had guys like Titus O'Neil, Kalisto, you had the Tyler Breeze. You had these guys that if they won, it would make sense for me. I understand if Titus wins, that's a big step for his career. Or a young guy like Tyler Breeze. What a big way to make Tyler Breeze important immediately is picking up a big win, a surprise win, but instead you went predictable. There was only one match during Raw that I thought was that I wasn't sure who was going to come out as the victor, and that was Sheamus versus Cesaro. But then you think about it, well, Sheamus has the briefcase, so what's the point of him winning when Cesaro is as hot as ever right now and they desperately need somebody to step up and fill the void for John Cena as a face? So I don't like the fact that there's 16 guys, but in reality, there's 4 or 5 guys that can win.
I'm a Tyler Breeze fan, but I'm not a fan of him being in this. 2 reasons. One, in the logical step, you're a guy that just got to the main roster from NXT. So where in the realism of contract signing and deserving and becoming a contender, where in there is the deserving of you getting to be one of the 16? Titus O'Neil, I'm a big fan of. I was happy to see him in there. I like seeing a few underdogs and surprises like this get put in there because there's a chance to elevate them. Even though Titus lost, if they stay consistent and continue to use Titus and give him meaningful matches, it could mean something. Kalisto, obviously the upset of the tournament so far, beating Ryback, great match, great finish there. With the Del Sol finisher off the top rope. Kalisto's a guy who could fill the void that the original Sin Cara was meant to bring into. And then there's the Cesaro point. Cesaro winning, I completely agree with you. Him versus Sheamus, a little bit unpredictable. Why would Sheamus even need to win? Because he has the briefcase. The unfortunate thing is Sheamus probably should have won because here's the problem. Cesaro wins. It would dangle some hope if he was facing anybody else other than Roman Reigns in the next round. The fact that he is, all that's going to do is put Cesaro in huge cheers of favor.
And that's
Reigns is going to get booed, and then maybe that's what they want because we might be leaning towards a heel Roman Reigns anyways.
And that's something that could be best for business. But yeah, if they're going to do the path of maybe Roman Reigns getting booed and understanding that and finally coming to the realization that Roman Reigns is not going to be your number one face, then I get the pairing with Cesaro, but they're not trying to show that right now. And you can tell with Roman Reigns' first round matchup, you can tell by looking at the rest of the card, you're going to see Roman Reigns in that championship match. It's most likely going to be against a Dean Ambrose, a fan favorite, or a Kevin Owens, a fan favorite. And that's my issue. And I'm going to talk about this more later this week. But with Roman Reigns being not even the wild card, but being the favorite and everybody else being the wild card, where's the element of surprise? And why do I want to buy Survivor Series? Because later on as well, the tag team match is not going to sell me completely with Survivor Series. Give me something that is new and fresh. And WWE had that opportunity by putting a guy, an A-lister guy like you said, in there, or even a Bray Wyatt, somebody different. They didn't do that. They didn't execute a plan that could really create new stars.
Yeah, your final 4, I would have to imagine that, and that'll probably be the matches we get at the pay-per-view. You imagine your final 4 will be Roman Reigns versus Alberto Del Rio, Kevin Owens versus Dean Ambrose. Obviously, Reigns seems like he's the foregone conclusion to win that side of the bracket. You can make a case for either Owens or Ambrose. I guess WWE's kind of banking on, even though every theory has been thrown out there by everybody, so nothing is completely fresh or new, that whether it's a Roman Reigns heel turn, and in fact they did plant the seeds of that opening promo, whether it's a Dean Ambrose turning on him, what have you, the only way they could, Josh, as you said, unless they do something that completely, unless Del Rio beats Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
and
like an Ambrose Del Rio.
That's the only way. I mean, but at the same time, it goes into what's it's predictable versus what's logical.
But that's also going to be something that's going to just ignore, or it's going to irritate the crowd even more, is the fact if Del Rio beats Roman Reigns, they're not getting anything that they want because the fans are still going to hate Del Rio because, unfortunately, he's not connecting with me since he came back. It was cool to see him back, but his pairing with Zeb Coulter doesn't do anything for me to think Alberto Del Rio, yes, he is World Championship material now, because he's not.
Well, obviously last week when we didn't even know the tournament brackets, I said, it'd be great to have to hit the reset button and elevate somebody like a Kevin Owens, because you just lost your top heel in Seth Rollins, so let Owens fill that spot. Obviously, Owens still has a chance. How great would it be? Everybody thinks we're going to get the heel Roman Reigns or the heel Dean Ambrose. What if it's simply Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns, and Triple H comes out and helps Kevin Owens and says, Roman, you didn't want to sell out? Well, this guy did.
There you go.
I don't know. There's a lot of things that can still
Look
go.
at you. We're smart. Do you think we're smart?
No. At Justin LeVar, at Josh Eisenberg 4. We got fired up coming up tomorrow on WrestleZone, and then Sunday we cap it off talking about this whole Undertaker Bray Wyatt situation. We'll get to that.
Skeptical.
We'll
I want to hear you. I never listened to his podcast, so I want to hear it.
We'll get to that. Fair Shot Reality.